Rashta, feeling anguished, met Eely at the southern palace to visit Duke Elgi. Eely was rude and contemptuous, and Rashta was shocked. Rashta mocked Eely's rudeness and asked her if she wanted to be imprisoned. Eely replied that His Majesty would not stand idly if she will be imprisoned. Rashta is angry, and asks Eely whose side will the emperor choose, the empress or a commoner, while Eely answered calmly not to become so hard on her, because she will soon become her sister. Rashta cried out in horror as soon as Eely called her sister. Goosebumps rose on her skin. This arrogant girl who settled in someone else's house to take her husband away from her at any opportunity. Irritated, Rashta orders Viscountess Verdi to take Eely away. However, Rashta's fake parents, Viscount Isqua slaps Eely while Viscountess Isqua insults her. Eely is angry, but Rashta smiles and dismisses her fake parents, Viscount and Viscountess Isqua, urging them to leave with her. Looking at their backs, Eely couldn't help but shed the tears she was holding back. After a busy day, Heinley asks if Navier on going hunting to relieve stress. Navier agrees. Though she doesn't like hunting, she enjoys horseback riding. A few days later, Heinley and I went together to a hunting ground near the imperial palace. At first they all rode together. Rather than hunting, it was more like they were chatting on horseback. Heinley commands guard Captain Unum about going alone with his wife. Heinley insists it's not dangerous and asks Navier. She agrees. The ride on horseback was pleasant, with sunlight reflecting on Heinley's hair and a nature-like scent. The ride was filled with a tingle in her heart. Heinley suddenly asked Navier he will rode alone and mentioned something he want to hunt. Heinley then asked her to follow him from a distance, and she followed him, holding the bow unstrained. Navier heard a scream, which is Heinley's voice, and quickly turns her horse to investigate. Heinley is in a duel with a fluffy fox, and the fox wags its tail. Heinley, lying on a bed with a fake bandage, is confronted by McKenna about his fight with a fox. Heinley explains that the only animals he encountered were foxes and squirrels. Heinley is upset because the dramatic scene he created didn't work. He acted desperate, but was immediately caught by the person who wanted him to love him. Inevitably, he felt embarrassed. Unable to bear the embarrassment, Heinley crawled under the covers. Just then, the door opened softly, and McKenna turned his head. The one who opened the door and poked her head in slightly was Navier. Navier heard a faint and sullen voice, and Heinley, who thought it was McKenna, told her she was heavy repeatedly. Navier questions Heinley's belief in her weight, despite him initially claiming she is light. Heinley initially denies she's heavy, but now he is saying she's heavy and demanded her to get off. Christa, once a respected queen, faced a difficult situation due to a rumor in high society. The rumor was that Christa and Heinley were having an affair. A lady-in-waiting suggests going to Compshire, but Christa hesitates, fearing she would be treated differently in Compshire. If she decides to go to Compshire, it will mean accepting her end and waiting for her death. She fears the rumor will continue to grow, so she decides to take advantage of it. Despite the risk, she remains determined to fight. McKenna was happy because his main workload had decreased since Navier joined the workforce. Navier was now taking over many of the tasks. Heinley asked him if he recalls a time when he was embarrassed and cried under the covers in shame. McKenna reveals that Navier had seen him after he left the room. Heinley screams at McKenna, revealing that he thought it was him. McKenna doesn't know what's wrong, but Heinley believes her queen hates the word heavy and is mad at him. Heinley explains that her queen hates the word heavy and is angry at High for it. McKenna questions why she would get angry if she thought she was heavy. Navier's anger is fueled by McKenna's belief that a woman can't get angry due to being labeled as heavy. Navier enters the room, delivering papers to McKenna and Heinley. Heinley smiles, trying to cover up his mistakes, while Navier smiles indifferently and points at the papers. Unum announced that Christa was there. Heinley frowned while Navier tried to assure Heinley that it was okay. Heinley eventually allowed Christa to enter. After a while, Christa came in with Marquis Ketrin, but there was definitely something strange going on. She seemed to have overlooked her outfit. Christa greeted Heinley and asked to speak with him privately, but he refused. Navier approached Heinley and saw Marquis Ketrin, who was angry. Christa speaks that she has a proposal, causing tension in the office. She slowly speaks, "Take me as your concubine," causing a total silence. The unexpected proposal shocks Navier. High society was shocked to learn that Christa openly asked Heinley to make her his concubine, causing a stir among the nobles. Despite the nobles' misunderstanding, Christa believed she couldn't escape the scandal even if she go to Compshire. Navier accessed her secret drawer containing a list of women in Christa's service, including their families, dissatisfactions, and loyalty. She asked Grand Duke Capman to investigate these women and select those with little loyalty and dissatisfaction. She requested her ladies-in-waiting to bring them in secretly. Heinley agreed to take Christa's case to the State Council, as an official contract was required for her to become the emperor's concubine. A meeting was attended by nobles, officials, and Christa, dressed in black. Heinley appeared sullen, but calmed down. Officials disagreed, stating Christa's concubine status was ridiculous. However, seeing Christa and Heinley together at a wedding reception convinced most ladies. Although it was strange that old Duke Zementia, Christa's father, remained silent when it was about his daughter, everything went as expected. Heinley appeared he didn't care, as per Navier's previous request, but seeing he held his hair and stare at Navier's ire, he genuinely cared. Marquis Ketron stated that the former king requested Emperor Heinley to protect Christa in his last will. However, Emperor Heinley disrespected his sister-in-law after marriage. Navier is about to give a signal when a foreign language from Rift is heard. Officials are silent, and Grand Duke Capman arrives. Navier is bewildered because doesn't ask for help. The Grand Duke admits to intervening in their business, despite avoiding interference in other countries' affairs. Navier becomes nervous about Grand Duke Capman's intentions to reveal the truth about the love potion. He claims Emperor Heinley was with him that night. He leaves the ballroom with His Majesty and many witness this, including those on Christa's side. Navier signaled the maids of Christa, but is surprised by the number of ladies-in-waiting who have come forward to testify against Christa. They testified that Christa returns early that day. Marquis Ketron viewed Heinley with a twisted expression, but he remained undefended. During silence, attention shifted to Christa, who remained pale but proud. The next day in the office, one of my aides approached me and gave me the news that Christa had left for Compshire. Navier's heart sank upon meeting Heinley, hugging him tightly and expressing that, "You're mine." He asked if she is not angry anymore, but she kissed him instead, feeling comforted and reassured. Heinley asked if Navier is ready to accept his heart, but Navier answered that she's not sure. However, she expressed her opinion that staying in a relationship with someone they don't want isn't good. Heinley take it as a positive answer. Navier notices Heinley's love for her, but struggles to believe in long-lasting, unconditional love. One step and she will fall in love with Heinley, but the end is bitter and more painful than her relationship with Sovu. It wasn't right to hold on to the wish that he would love only her for the rest of his life, so it was better to keep some distance now. Keeping a distance will make it not too painful if you fall in love with someone else. Heinley command Mostas to block the doors and windows. When Christa and her aides enter the Compshire mansion, Heinley told her he will offer water, drinks, alcohol, and food to keep the mansion filled daily. He promises to take good care of her sister-in-law. Rashta visits Duke Eely to discuss what Sovu and Baron Lance did to her and ask him if he know about the rumor about him. Duke Eely smiles, allowing Rashta to decide on believing the rumors, emphasizing truth over rumors. Duke Eely becomes serious when Rashta informs him about a request for a mercenary from Viscount Rostetchu. The Duke advised that the mercenary should not Roteshu's subordinate, causing Rashta to hesitate. Rashta asks Duke Eely if he can get her a mercenary. Duke Eely agrees, but he insists that he may do the same as Viscount Roteshu by getting his own subordinate. And he can't do something Rashta can't even tell him. Rashta discovers that there were rumors about her finding something. Angrily, she orders Viscountess Verdi to find out who started the rumor. The maid, who didn't intend to start trouble, pleaded for forgiveness. Rashta, furious, questioned her actions and reprimanded her for causing the problem. She felt it necessary to punish the maid as a warning to prevent future incidents. Rashta, determined, ordered Viscountess Verdi to execute the maid's father, who was sentenced to death but not executed due to his good behavior. The maid was furious that her father, who had been sentenced to death just because he avenged her brother that was taken and killed, was just easily executed because of the empress word. The maid angrily lifted the chair next to her and pounced on Rashta. Sovu arrived, addressing Rashta, who was being treated by a palace doctor. Rashta, on the verge of tears, expressed her immense pain. Sovyesha asked what happened. The palace doctor revealed that she had an injury and warned her about a scar and assured that the injury was not serious. Rashta is upset about her scar. While Sovyesha asked another questions about the condition of the baby, the doctor told him that the baby is in good condition but advised to be cautious. Sovyesha asked what Rashta did to make the maid very angry, causing to hurt the empress. Viscountess Verdi told the emperor the whole story. Sovyesha advised Rashta that she cannot execute someone hastily unless it's related to the murder of a royal family member, even if it's the empress. Sovyesha told her he is not surprised by Rashta's lack of knowledge, reprimanded her and summoned Viscountess Verdi and the guards. He instructed them to inform him if Rashta violated her empress status, causing Rashta to feel insulted. Rashta, depressed, cried alone in her bedroom, questioning if Sovyesha's love had faded. She believed it her own to save herself. The pain in her forehead allowed her to realize the reality of the situation. She told Viscountess that she will use her immunity power to release the father of the she choose to spy on Eely to get her trust. Verdi was shocked as she will release someone with a heavy crime. Navier became accustomed to the heavy workload, leading to increased efficiency and speed. She and Grand Duke Capman was sending letters and discussing trade matters. William and Mullany presented their own investigation reports to Navier. She was puzzled by the similarity in their reports, even in errors. She ordered them to leave, expressing disappointment and dissatisfaction with the report. Heinley laughed at the unexpected report and joked about it being bad. Navier admitted it wasn't bad, but was trying to trick them. Heinley suggested finding out who copied the report would be the first one to visit. She wishes it wasn't Mullany. Heinley asked Navier if she's scared with ghosts since there are rumors circulating that a ghost with crown is wandering. Navier answered she's not. Heinley asks his queen if he can stay by her side from sunset to sunrise since he's scared. Heinley stays with her even when she's working or reading. The queen decides to reveal the ghost's true identity for his sake. Navier was about to investigate the ghost. However, she encounters other visitors at the location where a ghost supposedly appeared, including his husband, who seems not afraid of ghosts, but trembles in fear of ghosts when they talk about it last time. Rashta, shocked by the recent chair incident, visits Sovyesha to seek relaxation and clear her mind. She decides to go to Rimwell, a small rural territory. Sovyesha agrees, providing her with sturdy carriages and a nobility villa in Moir. He thinks that she is depressed after a bandage removal and discovers a thicker, longer scar on her forehead. Rashta leaves her villa and seeks a man who once helped her escape, Viscount Roteshu. She entrusts him with a task, knowing he remained loyal even after losing an eye. Rashta told him that Viscount Roteshu is bothering her. Pix asked what can he do for his beloved. He was shocked when Rashta's request is to hire an assassin. Rashta visits an assassin's guild as instructed by Pix. A tall man with a hood appears. The man, with cold and sharp eyes, stares at Rashta in silence. Rashta asks the assassin if he would kill Pix for money, hesitantly asking if he knew him. If he agreed, she plans to test his heartlessness and skill. The assassin agrees, calling it a test and asking to kill Pix.